I'm Ismail Patrick Sithole. I'm from the Bapalani tribe. In 1963, my people were forcibly removed from their land under the apartheid laws. After our removal, my father was a very unhappy man, so unhappy that he took us into exile. We left my mother behind. Our family was broken up. Subsequently, my father died. I don't even know where his grave is. I've never seen it. I grew up alone with various foster parents in exile.
This is Manser in Bophuthatswana, the place where the Bapalani were moved after being forced off the land they had owned for 46 years.
The place we were moved to is a former leper colony. Leprosy attacked our people, and some are maimed up to this day. Today I've come to fetch my people to take them to the World Trade Center where we want to protest and highlight to the negotiators there that we need our land back.
Ek is Leonard Venter, ek boer hier in die distrik Potgietersrus. Hier lê baie bloedsweet in hierdie grond. Die opbou van hierdie land, mense wat vermoor is, siektes wat hulle getref het, en op die eind van die dag, met die seën van die Here, het hulle die wildernis getem en vir ons volk 'n land geskep. Ons gaan môre na die wêreldhandelsentrum toe, waar ons die selfbeskikkingsreg van die Afrikaner deur ons leiers geëis gaan word by die onderhandelaars.
Right, okay. The land that we lost has now become the biggest platinum mine in South Africa. So our people were moved to make way for the mine and dumped here.
The Bapalani were not compensated for the loss of their land. In 1990, Patrick Sithole returned to South Africa as a lawyer from exile to join the struggle of the people who want the land they lost under apartheid back.
I see signs along the road. There is one that says the right wing is also going to the same place where I'm taking my people. I wonder what's going to happen.
And I'm part of the multi-party negotiating process administration. Normally, I mean, we don't need to go so early, but today, because there might be some delays of the demonstration by the Afrikaner Volksfront, we need to get in to ensure that we get there at 8 o'clock.
There are, in fact, 2 demonstrations planned outside the World Trade Center today, one by the right-wing Volksfront and one by the Transvaal Land Restoration Committee. By 8:30, some people arrive. Meanwhile, outside the gates, the Volksfront begins massing.
Die AWB dames.
Afrikaner volk is 'n geweldige, nederige volk. Dit is 'n volk wat 'n gewellige dissipline het. As jy kyk hoeveel blanke boere is al doodgeskiet. As hulle blanke boere vanaand uitwis, dan gaan die boere nie môreoggend en skiet 1000 swartes dood nie. Ons is gedissiplineer, maar ek dink ons begin daardie punt nou bereik waar die kook begin oorloop.
Delegates are harassed as they drive through the crowd towards the World Trade Center. Three kilometers away, Patrick and the people from the land committee have gathered to begin their protest.
Where do we assembly?
Why don't we go inside? Inside, okay.
The police have told Patrick and the land protesters that they will have to wait for the Volksfront protest to end. They say that their safety cannot be guaranteed until then. There are only 150 of them. Many are old. The committee decides against confrontation.
I help around at the administration. That entails typing, transcribing, photocopying of documents in some cases, being a runner for the meeting at the negotiating council. Basically just the all-round. Sometimes it's stressful. I mean, especially when you work long hours, and the demands sometimes are great in terms of you having to do more than one thing at a time.
Ek moet sê, 'n mens is maar versigtig vir die polisie, maar dit bly nog ons eie mense. Dis die laaste ding wat die landbouer wil doen, of die blanke volk in die land, is aan 'n konfrontasie met sy veiligheidsmagte te kom.
Asseblief. So in by die arm. Ons daar vas staan. Okay. Hulle kan maar 'n wapens bære. Hey, as jy daai probeer gebruik jy moeilikheid vandag.
I take a message up to you. Sir, spell your name, please.
At 9:23, police take up position outside the main door.
Well, they look like they're coming in. The demonstrators, are they trying to come inside?
Right?
They're trying to come inside.
At 9:25, the Volksfront charges towards the building. At this point, the demonstrators have marched through the gate and up to the building with little resistance. Crew outside has lost Leonard Fenter in the crowd. This is the last we hear from him before the AWB cuts our sound cables.
Oh, they look like they're invading the place. Oh, look at that! That van is coming inside.
Magnifique, le générique de cette émission. C'était
There has been an incident of a buggy or a car being driven through the fence and one being driven right up to the windows. You know, I shudder to think of what would have happened if it was a black man driving through the gates of the World Trade Center. I think there would have been bloodshed. I think the police would have opened fire. I think a lot of things would have happened. But that goes to show you how privileged other races are in South Africa.
Would you like to go in there?
We'll speak to somebody perhaps here. I don't think there's a problem.
No, there's no problem.
One of the policemen here who knows what's going on here.
It's a tense situation there. He's got an idea what is going on there. So I think it's an unfair suggestion to me on the ground to try and deal with a situation like this.
Inside the World Trade Center, the occupation of the building by the Volksfront is now complete. Although the police are there, they do not stop them from vandalizing the council chamber.
Ons is nie vir spek en bone nie.
Some of Roshni's colleagues have locked themselves in an office where they watch the occupation of the chamber on television screens, normally used to monitor negotiations.
Yes, they've all been removed. Well, somewhere safe, yes. Yes, she's fine. Yes, I don't even know where they are.
We have linked up with Leonard Venter. He is now in the council chamber. While the Volksfront and Conservative Party leaders confer, AWB leader Eugene Terblanche takes control of the council chamber. Venter and the demonstrators wait to hear if their memorandum has been handed to the negotiating council. General Oberholzer of the South African Police facilitates the discussions between the demonstrators and the government.
Daar is besluit dat die oorhandiging wel sal plaasvind. Daar is besluit dat as u die gebou ontruim tot agter die parkeerterrein sal daar nie arrestasies plaasvind. Daar sal 'n kommissie vir ondersoek benoem word waar hulle die saak so sal ondersoek.
It is just after 11 o'clock when the Volksfront leaves the building. Outside, cars belonging to the negotiators are being vandalized. The siege is over, 1.5 hours after it began.
Negotiations with the government, it was decided to allow the protesters to hand over a petition, after which they left.
The negotiators and staff come out of hiding now that the Volksfront has left the building.
Weren't you scared? Gosh, I was scared. I thought I was going to die. Yeah.
Where were you sitting?
Well, we were all sent to the government offices, so we seemed to be quite safe there.
What were you talking about?
Just how panicky everybody is, and whether they're going to come, whether they're going to be staying here the whole day, and whether they're going to come, breaking down the offices and
Dead scared. But you call for the SAP and they're like running around here with these guys. They all look the same.
Why did you go inside?
Wel, ons het die reg om te weet wat van ons land word. En ons is ingevra om in te kom om te hoor wat gebeur daar binnekant. Julle tevrede? Is satisfied?
En laat uw naam verheerlijk worden in elkeen van onze leven. In die leven van die Afrikaner Volksfront. In die leven van ons volk. In die toekomst van hierdie land. Amen.
An AWB march leads the rest of the Volksfront crowd out the gates of the World Trade Center.
The right wing, yes, they have a right to be where they are. We're not fighting with them. We don't want their land. We just want our land.
At 12:25, Patrick and the Land Committee finally get their opportunity to drive through the centre's gates. This time the police are in position. The demonstrators have been waiting since 8 o'clock this morning to present their memorandum here.
We want to be sure that in the new dispensation that is, we're going to have in South Africa, they also address this most important issue of land.
The protesters wait while their delegation goes into the building to deliver their memorandum.
So you are Dr. Delport.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Personally.
Where are you from?
From the Mapalane tribe.
That is where?
That is in Rustenburg, just next to Tabazin.
Oh, yes.
There's a mine called Amanda Belt. It's owned by JCI. Yeah. We just want a piece of...
I don't deal with it directly.
Yeah, I see, right. Thanks.
Good day. Viva! Viva negotiations! I speak to you today on behalf of the Planning Committee and jointly all of us that are involved in this negotiating process will attend to this matter. Our land is too small for us to run away from one another.
Although we have a request from the AVF that their memorandum becomes part of the documentation of this meeting, that this House should not accept that memorandum as a result of the kind of events that we had today. But that's for you to...
I know that I'm part of history, and you can't say that this is just a job. It's not just a job, it's a dynamic process which we're involved in. And I think, I'm very glad to be part of that process.
In the council chamber, the negotiators begin their meeting 5 hours late.
I will allow Mr. Elof just to say something. He's got an announcement to make.
Chairperson, there are about 30 cars outside whose tires have been slashed. Now it's 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. We will now get a list of numbers, registration numbers of those cars, and we will circulate it in here.
Ek beloof die polisie, ons is dan nie voorste linie. Ja. Maar vra die ander sê gaan jy ons skiet, hulle sê nie ooms gaan deur.
mense is nie gelukkig met alles wat daar gebeur het nie. Maar die Afrikaner word nou so misken in sy eie land, dat daar begin woede opbou by die mense.
The chief of the Bapalani was frustrated, and he wanted to know how I felt today. I told him I'm a bit disappointed with the police conduct, their inaction and leniency towards the right. We waited over 5 hours, but I'm happy that we were able to present our memorandum in a peaceful and dignified manner. He told me that he has confidence in the negotiators and the fact that they will table our petition at the council.